All right, good Wednesday evening, everyone. So sorry we are a little bit late. We had some technical difficulties. We've got those lined out now, but thank you so much for joining. If you're just now joining us, click that like button, smash that share button. We got to get this out to everybody because we have a major, extremely major winter storm coming into the area, and this could be one for the ages across the area. So just want to say good evening again. We're live tonight with a significant winter storm update. I'm Jamie, of course. Joining us shortly will be SnowBirdBob as we break down the official winter storm predictions now coming into focus. Confidence is increasing in a potentially high impact winter storm. And tonight we're going to walk you through what's changed, what's becoming more likely, and what areas need to keep preparing and the preparation stages. You have about 48 hours or so before this storm system hits. So like I said, if you're just now joining us, click that like button, share this, hit that follow button as well. If you're over on YouTube, hit that like button, share this as well, and then hit that subscribe button as well. It's like following a page on Facebook. Just hit that subscribe button, hit all notifications, and you will be notified every time we go live. So we're going to cover a bunch of stuff tonight. So we're going to look at the big picture, where the storm system is right now, how it's evolving. Then we're going to dive into latest model guidance, showing you what the data is telling us, what's lining up, what's why there's still a little bit of uncertainty as well. So behind the system, we're also tracking big time pipe busting cold. I think people are dismissing this, and there's been some chatter about this is not 2021. But I'm telling you, this could be quite worse, especially with how deep the snowpack could be. And there's going to be a lot of issues, pipe busting cold, like I've said. So this will be the coldest air we've seen this season so far, especially with the snowpack coming down. So dangerous impacts could linger well after the snow and ice end. And finally, we're going to walk you through our official winter storm predictions. I know everybody's been waiting on it. We try to wait toward, we don't like changing our snowfall predictions every 3 hours like some people do, because that just creates mass confusion. We like to put out the preliminary snowfall and ice accumulations, then we'll change it one more time, and that is it. We don't like causing confusion or anything like that. So we're going to go over the biggest impacts, what you might see, what you need to do to prepare. So stick with us as well. So let's get right into the next where this system is. So what you see on your screen now, actually, I'm going to bring SnowBirdBob in. I'm sure everybody is excited for that. Let me get him up here. All right, I've got him unmuted, so if he wants to chime in anytime. But here is.
How you doing, Jamie?
Oh, I'm doing good.
How's everybody doing out there tonight? We have got a huge winter storm about to impact. And from what I was looking at, this could impact up to, I think, was it like 30 states, Jamie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is going to be unbelievable. Cold, ice, snow, sleet. And some of the sleet totals, I know you doesn't go on all that, but some of the sleet, I haven't ever seen sleet outputs on some of those raw outputs pushing 6, 7, 8, 12 inches of pure sleet. I mean, that is some unbelievable sleet if that was to take place.
I totally agree. I've done some of this. I'm still amazed on just what I'm seeing. My eyes I feel like I'm being deceived, but this is unbelievable. It's just like the perfect storm is coming to the south, basically. Arctic air, fresh Arctic air is going to be pushing south and meeting this storm system. Gulf's going to be wide open. We got basically Baja energy coming in with all the specific moisture, and everything's just going to meet in the middle. And it's just the snowfall outputs and the ice outputs, sleet outputs, which I've never seen in my life. It's just unbelievable coming in here. So,
well, I was going to get a shout out before you get started, James. I was going to give a shout out to everyone and tell everybody I appreciate you joining in, appreciate you following, supporters over the years, and we've really grown a whole lot in the past several years, and we really appreciate it. And we're here tonight to give y'all the very latest details and what y'all may can expect out there. And what we'll do is let Jamie walk through all the latest data, and then, like he said, we'll reveal our actual official predictions toward the end of the broadcast here, and I'll kind of step in and give my input along the way. But you go ahead and take it over, Jamie.
All right, everyone. So what you see on your screen here, this is where the system is right now. So hurricane hunters actually did a flight in there. They may still be in there. They left at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Wheels Up was at 1 o'clock this afternoon Central. They may still be in there doing drop sounds and everything else, trying to get better details and put this into the model data. So as we go into later tonight and into early tomorrow, the details are really going to be fine-tuned because of that special mission into this storm, because otherwise the storm is actually going to be moving southeast off the coast here. So there wouldn't be that much opportunity for the National Weather Services to push weather balloons up in the system, because it technically won't be on shore until Friday or Friday night. So that's why this is a very highly impactful storm, and that's why those hurricane hunters went out into there. So this is where the storm system is now, dropping southeast. Like I said, then it's going to be dropping east after that as we go into the weekend. All right, so here's another just like I said, I feel like my eyes are, I'm in a dream right now because I, it's so hard to believe that we have winter storm watches out from basically Arizona all the way almost to the east coast of the Carolinas up to Virginia. So I believe it's, I think I read earlier, it's almost 2,000 miles of winter storm watches across the area. So these go into effect starting to, especially out here west, probably starting tomorrow at around noon or so. And then as we get towards Arkansas, Louisiana, Missouri as well, those will start going into effect on Friday afternoon to the evening. Go ahead.
Yeah, and this early too. I mean, they started issuing winter storm watches yesterday. I don't think I've ever seen winter storm watches issued that early before in all my recent years. But there was so much consistency in the model data, though.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And me and you were talking on our show. Me and you were talking on that Monday morning. I said this is so much high confidence. I'm like they almost, to warn the public, I'm like, they need to push out watches early. And I was shocked. I was shocked when it came out as Monday afternoon at like 1 o'clock. They started throwing up.
Yeah, I'm glad they did that though.
Oh yeah, so people can get prepared, and that's why they did this, because we've learned lessons in the past. 2021, for example, with all that major extreme cold coming down and just absolutely epic snows as well. And there wasn't much lead time. And now there has been plenty of lead time for you all to get prepared. And we still have 2 full days on some areas. And even towards the East Coast, you have almost 3 days for this to start unfolding. All right. So everybody's wondering what the heck's going on. So let's let me bring this over here. We'll start going through model data. So the GFS, I'm going to tell you, it's been an outlier for a while. I'm sure SnowBirdBob would probably agree with this because it's been all over the place the last week or so. And just when we think we got the handle on things, boy, the euro has been rock solid for the past 3 weeks or so.
Man, it has big time.
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna show you the GFS. This is the 18Z. This is where it went awry again, and it's trending way south. It's not handling that Baja well at all. It's trying to push it way further south, and it's not going to be the case because we have the strong polar jet coming down. We have pieces of energy coming down as well, and we have a kicker system that's going to be coming behind this energy in the Pacific. That's what's going to be kicking it out, and then it's going to phase with this upper level jet. And I'll show you that here in just a second. But let's go over timing here. This is tonight, so there's actually been some rain showers. There's actually was a few slick spots this morning in parts of Missouri, northeastern Arkansas. On iDrive Arkansas, there was actually had some winter weather road conditions that were icy conditions over towards Hardy and northeast Arkansas over north of Jonesboro this morning. So just a precursor, this little hint of what's to come. And I know we had a huge warm late December, early January. Everybody's like, where's winter, blah, blah, blah. And boy, those winter over fans have suddenly just disappeared into thin air. So as we get, sorry, getting a little tangent every once in a while. So we go into Friday here. So there's nothing really going on until right around Thursday night into Friday. That's when the Arctic front is slamming into the region. We have these big high pressures, 1048 highs, 1044 highs, just keep pushing air, Arctic air down towards the Gulf. And then it's just going to be stalled out Arctic boundary here as we go into late Friday night. This is midnight to 6 o'clock in the morning. Just epic amounts of sleet, freezing rain through parts of Dallas into northern Louisiana, into Monroe, Shreveport. This is showing sleet for Little Rock and Memphis, and then all snow heavy at that, northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, over towards Oklahoma. Now, this is an outlier at the moment because this has trended so far south within one run. We almost have to discount it because none of the other models are on this like this. It's actually, the models have been trending a little bit more north because of the phasing that's going to happen with that polar jet, and there is so much energy coming out with this, and there is some models out there that think it's going to there's a potential that this could really overperform, because models do not do well at all with Southwest systems and all the moisture coming with it. So there's going to be some surprises. I can almost tell you that. I don't know if Bob, you want to chime in on this at all, but
Yeah, I like the position and the track of the European model, but I really don't. I'm not really buying the European model where you get all that heavy snow and right to the south it changes pretty much to freezing rain. I think the GFS is handling the mid levels and upper levels a little bit better, where you got the heavy snow, then you transition to a good little swath of sleet, and then you go further south, and then it turns to freezing rain. So I think, you can kind of, if you want to, you can kind of click over to the ice accumulation if you want to. Then we've got a snow accumulations. But I think the ice, I think southern Arkansas, maybe just south of Little Rock over toward Memphis, and northern Mississippi down to northern, northwest, north central, northeast Louisiana. I think that's going to be the area that's going to be impacted the worst with ice. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I mean, we've been talking basically on a week on this system. I was telling you, I'm like, this system is, I was feeling it was too far south, and then it was going to start trending north. And I said that the freezing rain, or the boundary where sleet and freezing rain snow was going to be that I-40.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, the past few years, it's just been notorious with that area. It seems like from Fort Smith to Little Rock to Memphis to over towards Nashville, that's just a prime area for the transitions. And we've had some epic. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that is going to be by far the toughest area to forecast. Right there is going to be that I-40 corridor from, say, around Fort Smith over to Little Rock to Memphis to western Tennessee. Right there, that area right there could, if it's just a little colder in the mid and upper levels, a little bit colder, you could, instead of getting 4 or 5 inches of sleet and a half-inch of ice, you could get a foot or two of snow. You know what I'm saying? Because it's so close. Now you get a little further in southern Arkansas, northeastern Texas, north central Mississippi. You pretty much get a lot of ice. And then if you get north of the I-40 corridor, say Oklahoma City, Harrison, Arkansas, Fayetteville, Mountville, Missouri, West Plains, southern Illinois and Indiana, Kentucky, especially western Kentucky, pretty much all that area is going to get mostly snow. But right there in that center corridor, that's going to be very tough right there. And we're probably not going to know that until probably, I'd say, 24 hours out. And sometimes it's a nowcast where it's coming in and the models say it's going to be sleet, and then everybody's posting it's snowing. You know what I'm saying?
Totally agree on that. Now, what you see on your screen here is you see got the first wave that comes out, and then that's really attacking towards the Ohio, just south of Ohio River Valley. This is GFS. It's just too far south, but it's going to go towards the Mid-Atlantic, and then this is the GFS is kind of not phasing anymore for some reason. It's holding this energy back, and I just don't buy that, because there's a kicker system coming in behind it. It's going to shove it east. But as I'm saying, I'm going through timing here. So it basically flattens it out. And then this big Arctic high, another Arctic front's coming down behind that as well. And, but the big thing is there's going to be big time snow totals and sleet totals, even with this. So like I said, take this with a grain of salt. This is not our forecast, but let's go through some snow totals. Actually, let me zoom in.
If you want to, just go ahead and bring up the snow totals on the GFS. Yep. And then we'll look at the sleet totals real quick and the ice totals, and then go back to the surface of the European model. And then we can look at the surface real quick, and then go through the snow and the ice outputs on that. And then we can go to our main, our official outlook that what we have.
Yeah. So here's the GFS. So this is basically taking a lot of snow out of Missouri and shoving it into Arkansas, right along, like Bob said, right along that I-40 corridor, and just this is showing 10 inches for Little Rock, and then upwards of half a foot just north of there towards Conway and up into Clinton and stuff like
foot and a
that. So,
half. It's got anywhere from 17 to 19 inches in there, and that area right there of eastern Oklahoma up into north central northern Arkansas. It's not our official prediction yet, but I would not be surprised. I was telling Jamie, because sometimes these models, they don't handle the levels of cold, like the lower levels, mid levels, upper levels, and if the snow ratios are actually higher than what the models are saying, instead of looking at inches of snow or 16 inches of snow, somebody could get 25, even 30 inches of snow. So that's not totally out of the possibility. And if we got up like that, we'd be talking historic amounts of snow for this area. But we're not going with that right now. You'll see, we're still coming for a pretty good bit. Y'all just stay tuned a little bit and we'll show that. But go ahead, Jamie.
All right, so sleet totals. Here is, I'm going to go over the southeast here in a second. I'm just going over South Central so we can kind of zoom in on a few areas here. So this has got 3 to 6 inches of sleet. This would be the best case scenario, especially for South Arkansas, northern Louisiana, into Texas. That would spare you all power outages, because this sleet would just bounce off objects, not stick in anything like freezing rain does.
And I was talking about that on my live the other night, that would be the saving grace if the upper levels, mid levels was a little bit colder, and that way most of that ice was fall as sleet. Now the sleet would come down and be dry like concrete. It would take probably a week or so for that stuff to melt off, because sleet, it just compacts and everything like that, and the dry would be so bad. But I don't think you'd look as near as much power outages than you would if we saw an inch or two of ice.
Yeah. And I agree with that. So let's go into this freezing rain totals. So like I said, we're breaking down all the models here, kind of going through the scenarios here. That's why we go through the big picture first before we kind of tell you what exactly is going to happen. So this is freezing rain. This is showing maybe half an inch to an inch across most of Texas into northern Louisiana, central Louisiana, and even getting down towards the Gulf Coast. And you saw that Houston got put under a watch today as well, and even into parts of southern Texas with this as well. So let me go towards the southeast, and you move a little bit quicker, I guess.
But, we gotta. I'm just gonna break in just for a second, Jamie. When we're seeing all this precipitation and the model trying to drive that cold air deep, most of the time when we're dealing with true Arctic air, cold air like this, when it's coming into down from Kansas and to Oklahoma and Texas, there's nothing that stops it but barbed wire fences. That's it. So the models, a lot of times, I've seen them, and you have too, the cold temperatures can drive another 100, 200 miles or so further south. So you may have ice a lot further south than and they may start having to issue freezing rain advisories, ice storm warnings even further south, because that's definitely, I think, going to happen and over in parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, South Carolina, because Arctic air usually spills further south. They don't, you know what I'm saying? It usually makes a stronger push than what the models have.
Yep. And then as we go towards the southeast, there's going to be some, as this first cold front or this first Arctic boundary comes through, and that's what's going to deal with that. That's what we're going to deal with, all that winter precipitation with that first wave. That high pressure is technically going to move towards Ohio Valley and basically spill up another high pressure to push south, and there's going to be cold air damming. That's why on the east side of the Appalachian Mountains here, that's why the cold air is just basically funneling down to the mountains here and right into Georgia. And that's why we have all this very heavy precipitation, or this freezing rain, coming into parts of the Carolinas and Georgia as well. So is there a specific model you want me to go to next, or you want me to go to the Euro?
Go to the Euro on the go to the surface map on the Euro and just spend a second on that, and then go over to the snow, and we'll look at the ice on there too real quick, because I know it's the evening time. It's 9:42. A lot of people's having to get their kids ready for bed, and a lot of people want to go to bed themselves and get ready to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, well, if anybody's like us, they're excited about this, especially the snow part. I don't know about the ice part, but
oh yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm really excited about it. I know you are too.
Oh yeah, like I said, I still can't believe some of these models I've been seeing just consistently throwing out 1 to 2 feet amounts. Just unbelievable. But anyways, here's the Euro. 6 o'clock Friday night. It's just starting to get going across parts of Oklahoma into Kansas and Nebraska. That this is that piece of energy that's coming down in the northern or the Arctic jet stream coming down, polar jet that is, and it's going to meet with this system as well. And that's why it's starting to phase it. You can tell that, and as soon as it starts coming together, you can see where it's starting to create that heavier snows and precipitation, and it's basically all going to come together over the south here. I like Bob said, the European I think is way overdone on the freezing rain. Doesn't have any sleet at all. We've seen this time and time again where this huge amounts of true Arctic air coming down. The sleet is the saving grace. There's actually going to be more sleet than probably freezing rain, especially on the northern half of this, what you see on your screen here. But as we go into the rest of the day on Saturday, if my computer work, here we go. All right, so very heavy snows across northern Arkansas into Oklahoma, and this, like I said, this is going to be a very prolonged event, 48 plus hours.
Yeah, I know, this is crazy. It could start basically Friday afternoon out in Texas, Oklahoma, and last all the way to Sunday night.
Yep, and
unbelievable.
And like I said, this is like he said too. This is the freezing rains is way overdone with this. There's going to be
because it's showing areas 2-3 inches. I mean, I'm not ruling that out, but I think we could get some 1 inch plus amounts, but I don't think we'll say 2 to 3 inches. But even an inch is a lot.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so let me break this down. Let me get into
South Central.
There we go. All right. So this is showing as of, let me get this further out. So this is showing, I mean, basically, like you said, Little Rock is showing 1 inch of snow. I mean, it's been,
I don't really buy that.
Back and forth. I mean, this could come a little bit further south. And then, boy, it's really rocketed north with some of these totals. A couple days ago, Kansas City wasn't going to get anything. And now they're just south of there. They're under watch. But, we'll have to play it by ear. But the sweet spot right now, I'm telling you, is from basically central to northeastern Oklahoma. And then as you get into the Boston Mountains, up into the Ozarks of northern Arkansas and southern Missouri, could be just getting absolutely plastered with,
it could be 1 to 2 feet of snow.
Could be for sure. So let me get over to sleet totals. This one's not going to have much sleet.
You see right there where it said Little Rock that it's got what, 1 inch or something like that.
Yeah.
If it's only showing 1 inch and it's only showing a 1/4 inch of sleet, then the rest of it is ice. I just don't. If that was the case, it would be a catastrophic ice storm from Little Rock over toward Memphis all the way down to the Delta area.
Yeah, and I totally agree with that. And I hope to God that doesn't happen. But
I know. I hope it don't
either.
A lot of
people get more sleet than freezing rain, but
because that would be the worst ice storm that area has seen probably since 1994.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to caution you with these freezing rain totals. These are just absolutely off the chart, and I believe half this is going to be sleet. So, but if we have to throw this out there, just in case, so you guys, we're giving you all the information so you guys can prepare your life, your property, and everything else. But this is showing a 1/4 inch of ice for Dallas, even.
And the Euro is showing this, Jamie. The Euro is showing it over and over and over. So we cannot ignore this.
I agree, and that's why we're showing you guys every model so you guys can possibly see what's coming and just prepare for the worst, hope for the best. Basically, scenario at this point. This is showing over an inch and 3/4 of ice in Little Rock. Same with around Memphis, and then southeast Arkansas, over 2 inches of ice.
And it's got Monroe, Louisiana. That's my hometown, West Monroe, Louisiana. It's got almost 2 inches of pure ice. I had never seen that, and I lived there for 40 years. I know they said back in the late 70s there was a big ice storm that was 1 to 2 inches of ice, and then the one in '94 was right north of me. It was up toward southeast Arkansas, Greenville, Mississippi, the Delta area, but they saw, I think it was 2 or 3 inches of ice or so back then. But hopefully this is wrong.
Yeah, I totally agree. I hope this is wrong, and most of it's sleet. That'll be the saving grace, and that'll save you guys on the power outages. Because if you get 1 to 2 inches of ice, I mean, I hate to. I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything else. You're going to be out of power for weeks, or possibly weeks, week to 10 days, 14 days. This depends on how rural you are.
And the bad thing about it, if that takes place, if we lose power down there across northern Louisiana, northern Texas, central northern Mississippi, into parts of Tennessee and northern Georgia, South Carolina, Kentucky. I mean, yeah, Kentucky, North Carolina, Virginia. I'm talking about not just cold. I'm talking about brutal cold. I mean, the GFS was showing actual temperatures 13 below zero for northeast Louisiana, just like yesterday. I mean, with this deep ice pack, sleet pack, snow pack, we could be looking at just unbelievable amounts of cold air. And if people, that's what I was stressing the other night when I went live. If we lose electricity like that with thousands or hundreds of thousands or even possibly millions of people, there needs to be warming shelters open all across northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama. They need to go ahead and get those up and going now, just in case, because this could be bad.
Yeah,
Really bad. I'm not trying to scare nobody. Like I said, always never be scared, just be prepared. We'll make it through this. But I mean, this is something that I've been running SnowBirdBob now for almost 15 years, and I have never seen a winter storm of this size and trying to produce this much ice over such a wide area.
Yep, and this is going to be model busting cold. You're going some of these areas could have 1 to 2 feet of snow on the ground as well, and you're going to see cold that you've probably almost never seen before.
Oh yeah, there's going to be certain isolated little low-lying areas that you hear about that hits maybe 20 below. Like it happened. You remember back in was it 2011 when West Arkansas got like 2 feet of snow, and some of those places hit like 25 below zero.
Yep, some of those areas too. So yeah, so this is going to be this epic model busting cold. This is going to be pipe busting cold as well. So that's some people. A lot of people are not talking about that. They're both more focused on the freezing rain, sleet, and snow. But behind this is going to be just unbelievable. If you get a clear sky, no winds, and you get a foot of snowpack, that's just it spells a recipe for just 10 to 20 below zero across parts of the area. So I want to show really quick the Canadian, because it deals with low level Arctic air pretty well, but let me get over here. Hold on.
I've noticed that usually the Canadian model usually tries to overdo the cold air almost all the time, except when we're dealing with really, really cold air. And then sometimes the actual GFS and the Euro is even colder than the CMC model.
Yep. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to load. So trying to get, sorry about the technical difficulties, by the way. I know we were a little late getting on here, but
and we'll try to field some of y'all's questions too. If y'all got a little time and stay on here, I'll let Jamie go over this, and then he'll actually release our official outlook on the snow accumulations, ice accumulations, and then we'll try to take a few of y'all's questions out there from supporters and from our followers out there.
So on the Canadian, I don't know about you, but I agree with the sleet areas on this, because like I said, the Euro is way overdone on.
Yeah, because that's going to be a strong warm nose, a pretty strong warm nose coming up through Texas and Southwest Arkansas, and that may impact Central Arkansas snow accumulations.
Yeah, and I agree with that. So this has a very like I said, all the models have a very prolonged event. Here's the first wave coming through, and then as we get towards Saturday into Sunday, here comes the second wave, and this is trying to actually.
That is a humongous winter storm.
Yep, and it's trying to warm nose even more, because, like I said, that high pressure, the first high pressure is moving out towards the northeast, and then the fresh batch of Arctic air is trying to press down, as well as this this strong low pressure comes across. I'm telling you, there's going to be winds with this as well. There's going to be 10 to 20 mile per hour winds. Some of the snow rates could be. I know we were talking yesterday. Some areas could have 2 to 3 inch an hour snow.
Yes, that is unbelievable.
There's so much energy coming out with this.
You know what, Jamie? You know what kind of scares me a little bit more about this ice setup is the CMC model. I've noticed probably for about the past 10 years, has done exceptionally well with ice accumulation events over the southern plains and the southeastern United States. And the CMC model has been pretty much hinting at those 2 and 4 inch ice amounts with the European model. So we have from my experience, we have the best model that handles ice, the CMC model. And then we have the Euro model pretty much saying the same thing. And look at this here. We're looking at 2.3 inches in Monroe, Louisiana. I mean, you're looking at 2 or 3 inches up in north central Mississippi and southern Tennessee, northwestern Alabama. I mean, that's why we're not predicting it, and hopefully it don't happen. But it's showing it on the CMC, and it's been showing it on the European model, just run after run, day after day after day. So that, man, I hope this don't happen.
What's scary is the max down here, 4 inches.
I've never seen that.
No, that's just unbelievable. I hope to God this, even if you get half this amount, this
even half that would be pretty much devastating, catastrophic. 2 inches of ice would. I remember back in 2009, I went on a snow trip. It was me and my wife and daughter. We went up to Perryville, Missouri. It was, I believe, January 2009. I was going north of the ice storm. You know, ice storm was for northern Arkansas, southern, southwestern, the Boot Hill, Missouri, southern Illinois, Indiana. So I went right south of St. Louis to get into the snow. Well, the warm nose was so strong, it even had me in sleet. I was 12 degrees, 13 degrees all day with heavy sleet. It finally changed over to heavy snow, and we got about a foot of snow. But what I'm trying to get to is on the way back, when we was going down 55, we got to Cape Girardeau, Missouri, there was telephone poles. It was probably 2 or 3 inches of ice on the power lines, the roads, everything was like concrete. And there was power lines. I've never seen this before in my life. I'm talking about, as far as you could see, the power poles were snapped, just like dominoes, all the way down, boom, 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 all the way down. And I mean, it looked like a war zone. And that's the kind of ice the CMC and the European is showing, and that's why we're just talking about it. I know we sound excited, but we're not excited. We're just, you know what I'm saying, Jamie? Yeah.
I get you. And this is why I want to come to the Canadian model. So look at these sleet outputs. I mean, you got the max down here at 9 inches, and sleet takes forever to melt. I mean, it's just, you could have, like you said yesterday, they're coming out the side of your house. You could have 2 to 3 foot piles of sleet if this actually happened.
Yeah.
But
and that sleet would stay on the ground for 2 weeks probably.
Oh, easy. Especially we got more cold coming in too behind it.
Can you believe that? And possibly more winter weather later next week for the South.
Yeah. And man, this will be your saving grace. So I mean, 6, 7 inches of sleet kind of suck, but I mean, you still sled on it. but
here's the thing, Jamie. They could get that 6, 7 inches of sleet across north central Arkansas, northern Texas, northern around the Memphis area, Jackson, Tennessee. But right south of that, though, toward Shreveport, Monroe, Greenville, Mississippi, Longview, Texas, they could get slammed with ice like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, totally agree. All right, so everybody's clamoring about
let's go ahead and release the outlook.
So here's what we're thinking. All right, so this is preliminary. Hopefully you guys can see this on your phone pretty well. I mean, we have to forecast we don't have a tiny little forecast area like a few counties in Arkansas we have to forecast for. We forecast for most areas of east of the Rockies now, but we focus on the southern plains here and the southeast mostly. But that this is sleet and snow accumulations. Okay, so they're from just south of Dallas over towards northern parts of Louisiana, towards Mississippi, and just north of Atlanta. We're thinking maybe a dusting to an inch. Like I said, most of that may be sleet down that way. But as you step towards Little Rock over towards Nashville, we're thinking maybe 6 to 10 inches of sleet snow on top of, if there is a little bit of ice at the onset. So that could be on top of there.
Well, we'll show you the ice. We got an ice accumulation map we'll show right after this, the snow map.
Yeah. And then the bullseye basically is from east central parts of Oklahoma through the Ozarks of south central Missouri, south of Highway 60, and then up towards, like I said, Harrison, Fayetteville, Mountain Home, over towards Ash Flat, West Plains, over towards the Boot Hill of Missouri,
Yeah.
all the way to the Kentucky, and this is going all the way over
All
towards
the
the East
way.
Coast.
Roanoke, Washington, Philadelphia.
And 10 to 6. I mean, I feel like I underdid amounts, to be honest with you, and even 10 to 16 inches is, I mean, wow. I mean,
we're going to 10 to 16 plus in that area, but
yeah.
This is our first outlook. That's some of that area in that hot pinkish red area you see. I think they could get 18 to. I'm just going to go out on a limb. Y'all know I always do, and sometimes I'm right. I think some of that area in the red is going to see 18 to 30 inches of snowfall.
Somebody is going to get, like I said, somebody's going to get hammered. I mean, absolutely, just unbelievably hammered with this, and this is the bullseye at the moment. So outside that red area, either side, 6 to 10 inches, even up towards St. Louis, probably around 5-6 inches around there. Kansas City, probably 3 to 6, and then
Indianapolis 3 to 6 plus.
Yep. And it's just a
even
far-reaching
Chicago.
effect. Yep. Chicago's going to get in on it as well. Yes.
So this is going to be a big storm.
All right.
Huge storm.
Let's go into the comments. All right. So everybody, somebody said about Virginia. So Virginia, most of Virginia, this, like I said, this is our first outlook. There could be feet of snow in Virginia. Or it could be, sleet, freezing rain. There's just a fine line, especially across the northern parts of North Carolina that heading into Virginia. As you get deeper to Virginia, you're going to have a lot more snow to deal with some amounts upwards of 2 feet possibly. But right now we're going with 10 to 16 out that way as well. So
and what you're looking at here, say if you're looking at the dark purple here where it says 6 to 10 plus inches, like around Little Rock, Arkansas, Nashville, Tennessee, that's 6 to 10 inch plus. That's of sleet and snow mix.
Yes. Yeah.
So you may get 6 inches of snow and 3 inches of sleet. So, and then of course some of those areas may get a ½ inch of ice too. So some of y'all may just get a little bit of the whole thing.
I agree, and I totally agree with this. So here's ice accumulations. Anywhere in the yellow. This is going all the way towards San Antonio, Houston area, up towards Jackson, Mississippi, and then northern parts of Alabama, talking up to a ¼ inch ice. You could have a glaze to a ¼ inch of ice. I mean, a ¼ inch, you start having issues with some, small limbs coming down. And if the tree trimming has not been done in your area across right around power lines and stuff, those will go into power lines and start having some isolated power issues. Now, as you get up towards central parts of Texas, towards Dallas area, and just south of there, talking a ¼ inch, ½ inch, then up towards Dallas, we're thinking a ½ inch to maybe an inch of ice up that way, especially across northern Louisiana, Monroe over to Shreveport as well, and then up towards southeastern Arkansas, basically south of Little Rock towards Pine Bluff, and south of there towards El Dorado. ½ inch to an inch. Like I said, we could be underdoing amounts on this.
And the Atlanta area, I know he's only got a little light glaze right around the Atlanta area, but some of that cold air wedges in there a little bit further to the southwest. Atlanta, Georgia could see a significant ice storm too, so we're not totally ruling that out too.
So there's big uncertainty for me in Alabama and Georgia right now. That's why we kind of So even up towards Nashville, you could get basically everything thrown at you with ice and then sleet on top of that, and possibly snow at the end of it as well. So it's just going to be an absolute mess. Good luck getting that stuff off the roads.
I'm sorry to break in, Jamie. Mary Beth Humphrey said, "Will you please say something about East Tennessee?" Yes, ma'am, Mary. East Tennessee, you're probably looking up to maybe a /4 inch of ice. And what do you have on there, Jamie? On the snowfall, it could be anywhere from 3 to 6 to 6 to 10 in the northern part of eastern.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, I know we do a lot, but
no problem, Carl.
Parts of the Tennessee Valley, there's going to be less because you're going to be mixing more and probably more freezing rain up that way.
Yeah.
I should have put a little divot up in that into the valley there. So
Hey,
that's something.
Jamie, go back to the ice mouth real quick.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to say something. You probably, I don't know if you've not heard of this, but living in North Louisiana for 40 years, for all y'all out there living around the Bossier City, Shreveport area, the Barksdale bubble. What do you say, Jamie? 100% chance, probably 99.9% chance that the Barksdale bubble is not going to save them from this one.
Yeah, this is. I mean, hopefully. You're wanting that bubble this time because
this time you are.
Man, I know everybody's upset from last year because totally missed them last year, and then even towards the Gulf Coast of Louisiana got absolutely hammered with the blizzard.
That I-20 corridor. Can you believe that? From like Longview over toward Monroe, Shreveport, they didn't get hardly nothing.
Yep, everybody else did, and then they got shafted.
We're trying to get y'all. We don't want to get y'all an ice storm, but we're trying to get y'all maybe hopefully some sleet and maybe a little snow on the back side of this system, and then of course later next week we could see a snow event too. Winter system. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's try to get some of these questions, Jamie. Randy Evans Henson, will you please talk more about the Jackson, Mississippi area? That Jackson, Mississippi area is going to be on that fine line of getting a little ice. You know, what do you think about that area, Jamie?
Oh, I agree with her. So, like I said, that Jackson is a little uncertain. It could. I'm telling you, if I know you all probably want winter precipitation and you want snow and all that stuff, but I'm telling you, if you're kind of at the iffy point, whether it's just going to be possibly rain, a very, very cold rain, or straight freezing rain, and then maybe some sleet at the end. But if this comes even more further south, Jackson, you're in trouble. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah, even about 50 miles or so.
Yeah, and trying to go through some like comments. So
that's what I'm looking at too. Will it shift south again, Kaylee? Kaylee Brooke Bishop. I mean, it could, but most of the ensembles from the Euro AI, the Euro EPS, most of them are kind of locked in. It will fluctuate over the next couple of days. I'd say, what do you think, David? Probably at 50 to 75 miles, maybe north and south. I don't see it really going like several hundred miles north or several hundred miles south. It could. I mean, but I'm not buying it right now, and I know the National Weather Service isn't either.
Yeah, we got some people on YouTube saying check out the 00Z run. We'll do that here in just a second.
Oh yeah, we hadn't even looked at the 0Z. If we went live right now, we would definitely. Jamie, we hadn't looked at the 0Z NAM model or the 0Z GFS.
Yeah, we were trying to get to the
totals. Some of these questions. Let's see.
I was trying to find one that said about, is this going to be a wet or dry snow?
Come on, Barksdale Bubba, please block the ice here in Bossier.
Oh, yeah. The one time you're wanting
it. Yeah, I know, man. I don't know. That looks like an area that's probably going to get some very strong icing right in there, unless sleet can save the day.
Yeah.
Brent Smith, supporter from Mount Vernon, Illinois. What do you say, Jamie? Probably at least 3 to 6 inches or so of snow, or probably 6 to. Let's see what we got.
Where do you say?
Mount Vernon, Illinois. That's right north of that hot pink area, right south of that St. Louis sign. That's in the 6 to 10 plus.
Yeah, you can. I mean, they could waver a little bit, like says first outlook, but I think 6 to 10 could be possible. And this is going to be especially up that way. It's going to be a really dry snow up that way, so it's going to be light and fluffy, going to be blowing around. It could be hard to measure at times. There's going to be lots of drifts, but still, it won't take much precipitation or much liquid equivalent if you to get an inch of snow, basically. So there could be 20, 25 to 1 ratios, maybe even higher, especially as you get up towards I-70 through Missouri into Illinois as well. So.
Emily Jean Street says, do we anticipate much change once we know what the hurricane hunters find out? Okay, I'm going to give my 2 cents on this. I'm always honest. I do think it helps, and maybe me and Jamie's got a little bit separate opinions about this, because I know he's big about getting that sampling and stuff out in the Pacific and all this. But from my experience looking at all the years when they do these samples and run and get this data or whatever from out in the Pacific when the storms come in, it usually don't have a whole lot of difference in the modeling. To me, in my from what I'm seeing. But what do you think about, Jamie? Maybe a little bit better with a track of the low, or
yeah. So what sticks out to me? I think it was December 2012. There was that big Christmas Day storm, and I think it was in central Arkansas.
That's the first one I hit. I opened SnowBirdBob on November 16th, 2012, and we hit that big Christmas Day snowstorm.
And there was winter storm warnings all the way to I-70 in Missouri, and within, I think it was 12 hours before the event, when that system finally came on board, and they got some samples on it, that sucker shifted so far south, and that's why Little Rock and them got hammered, absolutely hammered that day.
Scott says thunder snow. Hey, we're rooting for that, Scott. Me and Jamie was talking about that. We was trying to find some data last night. Well, me and Jamie was talking about this, see if we could find some thunder snow, and I guess you can't rule it out, but we didn't really see that.
There's just a ton of energy. You can't rule it out. I mean, it's probably closer to zero than anything, but if you're going to see some thunder and lightning, it's probably going to be in parts of central southern Texas into Louisiana and Mississippi. And then if that happens, it's basically like a thunderstorm, and your freezing rain that you're getting will change to sleet temporarily.
Yeah.
So,
all right, let's see. No problem, Brent. I appreciate you being a supporter. I appreciate all the following.
I'm going to pull a comment up on the screen. I'm going to show it. Nicole, she lives in Mountain Home. It's going to be a wet or dry snow for northern Arkansas. You want to go into that, Bob?
Yeah, Nicole, that's going to be a very dry snow. We're going to be having temperatures, and most of the snow that when it's falling is probably going to be in that I would say 8 to 17 degree range. Wouldn't you think so, Dan?
Yeah. So once it starts, it'll probably be in the low 20s, but it's gonna tank. I mean, we'll be within a couple hours after it starts, we're going to be tanking to the low teens.
Yeah, but here's the thing that I've noticed though. Okay, even up here, even worse, maybe 12 degrees and snowing. If the snow gets so heavy and so thick that it can actually turn into almost like a little bit of a wet snow. You know what I'm saying? Because we had that happen last year in southern Missouri and northern Arkansas.
Yep. And that's one thing we were looking at earlier is the soundings for northern Arkansas, southern Missouri. There is a warm nose. But it stays below freezing all the way up through the 700 millibar level. But at just below the 700 millibar level, it gets up to the upper 20s. So as snow is falling, it could be wet snow at that level, but as it gets towards below 5,000 feet, that's where the dry air really kicks in. It's going to kind of maybe dry out that snow.
Because if all the mid and upper levels were cold and we was getting say like this was, you remember February of 21, we had snow ratios, what was they, like 20 to 30 to 1 in some areas? If we was getting that with this type of precipitation amounts, we'd be talking what, 3 feet or more of snow?
Yeah, because here in Mountain Home, we had, what was it? I think it was all day. It was 0 the whole day during that event. And there was hardly any, I think we had like maybe 3 to 4 tenths liquid equivalent. And we ended up with,
11 or 13 inches.
Yeah.
Snow, unbelievable.
And that was 2021. This is a totally different animal. And
this is a beast. This is a beast compared to 21. Now the 21 cold may outdo this a little bit.
Yeah.
But as far as the amounts of precipitation and how widespread this is, oh man, this is huge.
Yeah. All right. I'm trying to go through some questions.
That's what I'm looking at too. We've lost about 1,000 people or so live.
Yeah, they got the whole of the forecast and they went to bed. So that's fine.
But we got some hard school, that really loves the weather and stuff like we do, and they're sticking around on here.
You want to answer Megan's question? I put it on the screen. It says, "What's pushing all this snow out of Georgia? Warm from the Gulf."
Yeah, it's warm air advection.
Yep. So that's the biggest question in Georgia is the cold air damming. Is the high pressure is going to move? The first high pressure that is going to move towards the northeast. It's going to be basically funneling very cold Arctic air down the east side of the Appalachians. If I'm saying that mountain range wrong, which I probably am.
Appalachians, yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, what if the warm advection and it's not as strong coming up into Georgia, and it's more of a kind of a moderate rain and showers, and it's going to allow more cold to work on the backside down into the Atlanta area. You see what I'm saying? So that's
models are
iffy
showing
right there.
that. Models are showing that it's sneaking into parts of Georgia, especially Atlanta area, with some significant icing.
Carla J. Monroe, Santobia, Mississippi. Where's Santobia, Mississippi? I had to ask ChatGPT the other night. People was asking me some cities, and I was like, where's this? Where's that? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know where it was. Do you know where that is, Jamie? Santobia, Mississippi.
I can look it
up. How you doing, Carla? Appreciate y'all joining in. Robert Spencer said, yeah, as a weather geek myself, I'm not going anywhere. I hear you, man. I could talk about this. We could talk about this 24 hours.
Yeah. And
I work for GDOT and watch you both. Well, appreciate that, Carl.
Yeah, Georgia DOT.
Kelly Winfrey said, I want to listen all night. Bring it on. Got a beer and let's go. I hear you. Oh, man. Are you looking that up? Santobia, Mississippi, Jamie, or do you want me to look it up?
Yes. How do you even spell that? Santobia.
Senatobia.
There it is. Okay. Hold on.
And if she's north of Jackson, that's not good. Unless she wants to see ice and stuff. But I know this sounds crazy, but you know, as I gotten older, you know, I don't wish no ice on anybody or myself or anything, because I know what it comes with. Because I sure wouldn't want to lose electricity. I mean, I have a gas fireplace, and I could stay warm kind of by it. But even when I was young, though, I was like, man, living down in Louisiana, I was like, I don't care if it's ice or whatever. I want a massive ice storm. I don't care. You know, I didn't really think of all the consequences and stuff of it being younger. In fact, I did all that all to my 20s and 30s. And then finally, when, you know, I got into my 40s, I was like, okay, this is not so good.
Yeah. And, okay, so that's Santopia, Mississippi is just south of Memphis, east of Tunica. It's on I-55.
Man, they're going to get slammed with a lot of something.
Well, I mean, a lot of sleet or ice, some snow on the backside as well. So,
yeah.
All right.
Let's see.
Yeah, if you want to go through comments, I'm going to try to pull up the 00Z and
Megan Brandon War, a supporter. Appreciate it, Megan. Not that far from Memphis. Yeah. Right now we got you in that basically anywhere from 3 to 10 inches in that area over a short distance. Basically heavy sleet, could be some heavy snow, and maybe even up to, you know, a half inch of ice in there. So like we keep saying, from that I-40 corridor, basically from Little Rock over toward Memphis, you know, right to the south of Nashville, all that area right there that's real tough to forecast. In fact, like I said, none of us out there across the web or know, or anybody may not know exactly what we're going to get until, you know, maybe 24 hours out. But I'm glad they issued winter storm watches, because they know that just like we do, it's 99% chance y'all going to get a whole lot of something.
Yeah.
Frozen, that is. Let's see.
GFS had a major reversal, and I'm going to go over that here in just a
second.
It
did? I hadn't even seen it. What did it do?
That's why I was pulling up. So 18Z was just, you might as well just throw that out the window. So
yeah, let me look. It's going to be the first time I've seen the 0Z.
Yeah. So let's go through here. So here is Friday into Saturday, actually late Friday, and it's actually pushing the precip. It's actually
it looks like
precip.
Yes, it is.
To Arkansas already, and so it's speeding up a little bit, and you can see that northern stream system coming down too.
All the way up to South Dakota.
Yep, and so this is the GFS is now phasing it finally, and then here it is, 3 o'clock in the morning. This absolutely crushing Oklahoma, Arkansas into Missouri, Kansas, and then here's that sleet. I hope this happens, and I agree with it.
Yeah.
with the sleet going on through most of
Yeah, I would
central
lean
parts.
toward that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then freezing rain, of course, just south of there, of course, Dallas, and then getting.
You know, right there, Jamie, I don't mean to interrupt you, but right there, it almost looks like I-40 hammer time for sleet, I-20 hammer time for ice.
Yep, and I'll zoom in here so you guys see better. So yeah, just along, just slightly north and south of I-40, it's this hammer time for sleet, like you said. Just as soon as you get out of that transition point from sleet into snow, that's where it's going to be hammer time, like you said.
Oh my gosh,
and
yes.
Northern Arkansas, and
I mean, some of this precip is showing what 2 to over 3 inches of QPF. That's total precipitation.
Yeah, and
unbelievable.
This is actually, this is bringing the second. This is bringing the second wave in too now.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it got the second wave on the 0Z?
Yeah, I've got so many tabs.
Oh my gosh! And the second wave now is just as big as the first wave.
Yep. And
this is unbelievable, man.
Yep. And this is
this is the first time I've seen this.
This is trying to bring the warm nose a little bit further north, but look at how minimal the freezing rain stripe is before you get either into rain or sleet. So
that would be good.
This is good. This is actually good news if this model run actually came true. But this is Sunday morning now at 9 o'clock.
Wow.
Just hammering.
That is unbelievable. You know that these snow totals are going to be crazy when we switch it over there.
Oh, yeah, easy.
Look at that. You got ice all the way down to Houston.
Yep. And they're under watch. This is 3 p.m. Sunday, so this is lasting all the way to Sunday afternoon.
And look, this model brings in, it gets Alexandria, Jackson, Mississippi into play.
Yep.
See, we said this could happen. This cold air could trend further south.
This is 9 o'clock on Sunday.
Can you believe that?
Oh my gosh.
We're basically getting 2 huge winter storms back to back. I mean, you got the big initial wave on Saturday and the other big initial wave coming Saturday night and Sunday.
Now, as we go toward the southeast, if you guys are watching from Georgia, those are you around the Atlanta area, this is trouble. So this is bringing a lot more colder air on the east side of the Appalachians, just funneling in there. Yes, you might start out as initially rain, but here we go. Even into northern Alabama, it's really hammering, and there's into that Tennessee Valley as well. So, and more into central Mississippi now, around that Jackson area. But yeah, this is continuing. See how here. Sorry, I know I'm probably getting a little excited here. I'm not excited about freezing rain, but
I'll tell you what I've seen on this model here, though, it keeps Memphis to Little Rock down to El Dorado, they get predominantly sleet, it looks like, according to the GFS, the 0Z GFS model.
This may save totally South Arkansas. Northern Louisiana, not
so much. Oh, no, not according to this model. They get crushed.
So if you watch this, let's see if
Kentucky and Virginia and West Virginia is going to get crushed with snow, and actually Southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio is going to get a lot of accumulating snow too. Because I mean, if this kind of trends more north like the Euro, and it's actually doing that with its latest run.
Yeah, this is the first wave. Even with light precip up here in Illinois, I mean, it's going to has to overcome some dry air. But if it can get through that with this first wave, even light precip, and it's going to be, close to 0 up there, possibly. You're looking at 25-to-1 ratios, and it won't take much.
Yeah, 1/10 of an inch will give you what, 2 or 3 inches of snow.
Yes. Yeah. So, all right. So as I was focused on Georgia here, but you can see as it starts this first wave, it goes to rain, but you can tell that cold air damming is seeping into the area, and it just keeps on moving more southwest.
If that happens right there, it's going, man, it'd be lights out in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta's in trouble if this happens, and it just keeps
big trouble.
It keeps on and keeps
big
on.
trouble. I guarantee it's going to print out 2 to 3.5 inches of ice, and I hadn't even looked at it yet.
Now the second wave is trying to really warm nose it, but it's still holding on big time. And if you do get ice accumulations with this first wave, that will actually cool down the lower levels of the atmosphere, because it's basically like throwing ice cubes in your drink.
That's right.
It's going to get even colder at the surface.
It may only be freezing for, to the surface up to about 50, 75 feet off the surface. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So,
but look at that. I have noticed this. When you go out to that second wave on the 0Z GFS, you can see that even southeastern Oklahoma, northern Texas, central southern Arkansas actually switches over to all snow on Sunday.
Yep. And on the backside of that, yep. It sure does.
So even, and that could produce a couple inches of snow on top of their, whatever they get in sleet and maybe some ice.
Yep. So, man, I appreciate y'all sticking with us. We got 600 people watching, and you guys are wanting to geek out with us. So we appreciate that.
That is cool.
I'm happy staying live for.
Oh yeah, Jamie, let's take a look at the ice amounts first. Don't look at the snow. Let's look at the ice amounts. Let's save the best for last.
my heart's like beating out of my chest wanting to see those. That
ice,
snow totals.
Jamie. Yeah.
All right, so
let's
blow this up. There you go.
Is there any way you can move it over a little bit where we can see the Georgia area too? Well, we can look at Texas here, and then then you can move it over. But see, look at that corridor from Monroe up to around Oxford, Mississippi.
Yep.
That's a 1 inch. No, actually, that's up to over 2 inches of ice.
This is 1 to 2 inch swath, just right around Monroe, all the way just through northeastern parts of Mississippi.
You know what, Jamie? Looking at this, I kind of believe this latest GFS model to have the best idea overall out of pretty much any model run of all of them, as far as the snow, sleet, and ice areas. You know what I'm saying?
This run may have started dissecting some of the data from the hurricane hunters.
Yeah, and if it has, this may be really, really close.
So it may not be the full package, but there may be some.
Hey, look at the ice out in the southeast.
Yeah, that's what I want to go.
I bet the Atlanta area is crushed. Look at that. 3.3 inches of ice, man. That is unbelievable.
Zoom in even further here. Here's the Atlanta area.
Oh my gosh! Hopefully that does not happen.
3 inches.
Man, that is unbelievable.
My goodness, this would be.
But we got to remember too. A lot of this, especially if it's around 30 degrees, a lot of this heavier rain will actually fall off, run off before it actually all sticks to the power lines and trees. So you can't really take these ice totals in stone, because even if it's showing 3 inches, even best case scenario, or say best case, worst case scenario, you may get 1.5 inches of ice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even half of this, still.
Yeah, even half that's still bad.
Yeah, and actually,
but when you get down to the 20s, though, Jamie, once you get down to the 25-degree range, 27 degree, and you get some moderate to heavy freeze, oh my gosh, that's when you can stack it up to 2-3 inches thick, man. And that's what I hope don't happen.
In 2019, up here in northern Arkansas, that was 2009.
2009.
We were in the low 20s the whole event, and that's when we had 2 to 3 inches of ice in it. Man, it was. I still hear the sounds in my mind. It sounded like a war zone because all the trees crashing. It's just nuts. But anyway,
well, you want to back it up to the South Central, and let's take a look at the massive snow totals, because I guarantee it does.
Oh my gosh,
massive snow totals.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
2 feet
I knew it.
Band.
2 feet band right in that area was talking about.
Yep. And even it's not even playing.
And me and you are so happy right now, because that's where we're at. Mountain Home, Arkansas, where it says 21.3. Then you got Fayetteville at almost 2 feet.
Yep.
And you think about this too. Like we were saying, if the ratios are a little bit higher, you could easily bump that up to 25 to 30 inches of snow. Look, what is that?
Oh wait, that's centimeters.
No.
Oh my, that would not be good. So
no, you had me. I wouldn't believe that.
Yeah, I was just looking at the positive snow depth. This is not going to be right because of all
hey, you know what I was going to say? That was funny, man. But listen, y'all know I ain't that crazy. Go back for a second. Go back for a second on the board. Said 40-something inches, whatever you put.
Okay, so I accidentally hit centimeters.
See, it's got 54 centimeters up there. Hey, y'all know I share some crazy stuff over the years, and that would be something. But I wouldn't go that extreme to share something like that. I get kind of crazy with my hype and excitement, but I'm not going to throw that out there. That's just I wouldn't do that.
Oh my. Yeah. So
I mean,
sleet.
that,
Let's go into sleet.
oh
So
my
this is
gosh, that's a
now
lot of
throwing
sleet.
epic. This is the
Up
GFS
to
is
8 inches of
finally.
sleet.
Yep. GFS is
And I think
finally
it's
on it.
moved it more south too, toward it's even got 2 or 3 inches for Monroe, 5 inches for Shreveport. See, that could actually save Monroe and Shreveport a little bit, but also even if they get 2 to 4 inches of sleet, it looks like they're still going to be hit pretty hard with ice too before they go over to sleet. You
Yeah,
see what I'm
still a
saying?
half an inch to an inch of
Yeah, that's what
ice.
I'm saying. So this could be one of the worst storms that area has seen down there, and man, this could be worse. One of the worst storms
Uh,
they've seen in 20 years or longer.
yeah. Another thing is if you get this ice accretion across parts of this area, and then you get sleet on top of that, and maybe a little bit of backlash snow, maybe a half an inch to an inch. That's going to put a lot of weight on stuff. I've seen it in northern Arkansas. There was a storm back in December, I believe it was 2012, 2013, something like that. No, it was 2013. We had massive amounts of freezing rain, quarter inch, half an inch. Then it sleeted for 8 hours after that. And then we got 10 inches, I think 8 to 10 inches of snow on top of that. And then there was docks collapsing. There was barns collapsing. I mean, it's going to put a lot of weight on the roof. I'm not trying to scare anybody or anything like that, but I've seen some extreme things happen like that.
Yeah, and see, this is going to be the type of system too. And I'm just going to use Arkansas for an example. You may be in Clinton, Arkansas. You may pick up 20 inches of snow, okay, in Clinton, Arkansas. I'm just saying, I'm not saying that's a prediction. I'm just saying some of these models are showing that. It's like 20 inches of snow in Clinton, and then you drive down to Conway, and then Conway gets 3 inches of snow and 4 inches of sleet. But as you go up, a little further north like that, you just go in. You know what I'm saying? You can be snow up to your knees in a matter of an hour's drive.
Yep. And that's how drastic. That's why forecasting winter weather in the South. I mean, I'm glad I don't have any hair, but you'll pull all your hair out basically trying to forecast this because 20 to 25, 50 mile shift will basically be the difference between a foot of snow and a dusting. It's just crazy. But
Lance said, Lance Drake said one of the warnings coming. I would say the warnings is going to start popping. I'd say tomorrow. Don't you think so?
Tomorrow morning, you'll start seeing them in Texas, especially West Texas, towards parts of Oklahoma, Kansas, New Mexico. And then as we go, maybe possibly, since there's so much consensus, maybe as far as the west of the Mississippi River, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana, they may all go to it tomorrow morning. Just depends on what they're feeling, what the package is going to be. But I think with this latest GFS run, and I believe it's dissecting some of the data from the hurricane hunters, and it's that from the 18Z to the 0Z, it's just night and day.
That's a big change. Yeah. Joe Chapman, he's a supporter. He said snow line is I-40. I'm 30 minutes north of Nashville. 30 minutes north of Nashville, I think you're going to do pretty good with snow. I think you're probably going to see at least 6 to 12 inches of snow.
Here, I'll zoom right into Nashville. Here's Nashville right here. So the GFS right now has Nashville right around 8 to 10 inches.
And he's 30 minutes north, so he's looking. He'd be in that foot range.
This is if this, of course, is just one model, and I think we're going with 6 to 10 plus.
Yeah, plus. Yeah,
and that's right around where that foot mark is, right north of there. So
yeah, man, can you? When's the last time that we're probably going to see something like this? What I'm saying, Jamie, is you remember back in February of 21. I'm not comparing this to February 21 because in ways this is going to be worse than February 21, and in ways it's not.
In a few areas, yes.
In a few areas, okay, but the last time we seen much of the east part of the country covered in pink in winter storm warnings, you'd have to go back to February 21 to what it's going to probably look like come Friday afternoon. You're going to see pretty much the whole central and eastern part of the country lit up in pink winter storm warnings and probably ice storm warnings.
Yeah, it's. I was just amazed at how expansive the winter storm watches were. So it's just just unbelievable. And of course, when we see the winter storm warnings, ice storm warnings, and then what's not showing too is there's going to be winter weather advisories around all this as well. So most of the United States, especially east of the Rockies, could be under some sort of advisory warning.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a
ice
lot.
storm warning. I mean,
all the way down to the Gulf Coast. Cold wind chill watches, cold watch. Hey, take a look at the latest wind chills for the 0Z GFS.
All right, hold on.
Because we hadn't looked at that either, and this may be a little colder, or
I'm just waiting for it to load. Hold on.
All right.
Everybody's on this side, I'm sure, right now, just looking at stuff.
Yeah.
Come on. So here's 6 a.m. Sunday. It's got below zero wind chills all the way down to central Texas, through Oklahoma into Missouri. I don't think it's cold enough. But
now go back a little bit earlier.
Here's midnight Sunday morning.
Yeah, I don't think that's cold enough. It's cold. I think it's probably the coldest morning as far as actual temperatures. What do you think? Probably going to be Tuesday morning, huh?
Yeah, I agree. With this precipitation moving out, and then finally it clearing, you can see that now Monday morning, 1 o'clock. You got wind chills, 15,
almost
20 below zero.
Yeah.
Even down into Texas, Dallas, you're below zero wind chills. So I can move this forward to like 6 a.m. and it just continues to get worse. I mean, you got
look at that
20
0 all the way down to I-20.
Yeah, this is wind chills. By the way,
wind
so
chills.
this is you got 12 below in Dallas. This is going to put some. I'm not trying to scare anybody. This is going to put some stress on the grid, especially down here in Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas. I mean, so we'll just have to.
You know what the weirdest thing about this whole situation is? I'm not no conspiracy theorist or nothing, but this whole area, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, we've all been so dry the past several months, just really dry. And then we get our first winter system is going to be just absolutely humongous with just huge amounts of precipitation, 2, 3, 4 inches of precipitation that, you know what I'm saying? It's just, this is crazy how the weather works.
Yep. And, well, we came out of La Nina and we're in neutral again.
And that's helping a lot.
And we were in the circle of death on the MJO for almost a month. And
and stuck in northwest flow. It was getting cold, but had no moisture really to work with.
We got out of it, and now it's starting to. I mean, basically the pattern's starting to flip. But as I was telling, I think you yesterday, I know we still have 500 people on. Just listen to us yammer about stuff, but that low in the Pacific that is bringing basically responsible for this epic winter storm. We got lucky on that because, I mean, not so lucky if you're getting ice or anything like that. It's probably wrong wording to use, but there was a Fujiwara effect. There was a low to the north of it, low to the south of it, and they were kind of rotating around each other. Well, the southern wave of it broke off finally, and that's what's bringing into this. If that sucker kept rotating around, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. We'd be super cold and nothing, no precip, hardly any precip. But
well, Jamie, let me interrupt you a second. I was going to give a shout out to Jason Burnham from Calhoun, Louisiana. That's right down the road from my old stomping grounds, West Monroe, Louisiana. He said lots of ice. Yeah, it looks like Calhoun. Calhoun is actually right down the road from Ruston, Louisiana. It's right off Interstate 20. You're probably going to get a whole lot of ice. And maybe you could get a few inches of sleet. Maybe a little bit of snow as the system kind of departs on Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening. But this is mostly going to be a sleet and ice event for Calhoun. And I appreciate it. I appreciate you being a supporter, Jason.
All right. So, Sarah, good thing. Says OKC now has a warning. Let's take a look at that. And
Already.
if they're doing that, that's actually a good sign of how high probability this is going to be.
Yeah.
Let me pull that up while you're talking, if you want to answer some more questions.
Yeah, I'm looking at a couple more of these questions here. Winter storm warning for Geronimo, Oklahoma.
Yep, here it is.
Any snow? Sure is.
And let me pull this up. Let's see what it says.
Yeah, Tasha, it has been really confusing for all of us.
So I hate to get on a soapbox here. I'm going to touch on this. So, like I said at the beginning here, we bring out our initial forecast, and then we will relook at it one more time before we. That's it. We don't change our forecast every 3 hours.
No, we never have.
And that, to me, when people do that, that just creates more and more confusion, because you'll be going, you're going to prepare for, let's say they throw out, 6 to 12 inches, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be at home 2 to 3 days. You go to the grocery store, get a bunch of supplies, and all of a sudden you come home, they change the forecast to an inch, and just creates mass confusion and frustration across the board. And
a lot of times that's why we wait to 1 to 3 days before we give you official predictions. When we give our outlooks, like our first outlook and stuff like that, you can kind of expect that to happen. And like when we give our long range stuff, of course, you say not a forecast, don't really count on that. Just most about pattern recognition and what may take place down the road. But once we give our official outlook, like we're doing tonight, we'll release it on here. And after we get off the live, we'll actually post those maps to the public page.
Mm-hmm.
You can kind of take that to the bank, and that, not that it's going to happen. I mean, we try to be as accurate as possible, but we don't like to change it. Now, we may change it one more time Friday evening or something like that, or Friday morning, and just let it ride. Whatever we update at that time, we should be close enough we'll have y'all prepared enough to know what's going to take place.
Yeah. So I'm happy they're doing this, but it's just really shocking, because you get out here towards Albuquerque or even Arizona, and they're still under watches, and then the night crew came on and then here we are. They usually do some updates right around 10 to 11 o'clock. Usually NWS does, and then they do their full forecast package by 3 or so. But
well, if that's the case, if they're pulling the trigger already, then you can almost guarantee when everybody gets up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, that pretty much like you said, everybody east to west of the Mississippi River is probably going to be under a winter storm warning or ice storm warning.
Because a lot of these, especially surrounding forecast offices, they usually do pretty well on communicating with each other, or they'll have a Zoom call or something. So Tulsa definitely will be on board with Oklahoma City, and then Wichita, probably Amarillo, so on.
I think the winter storm watches and warnings could possibly get extended a little further north of I-70, maybe in parts of Illinois, Missouri, Ohio, Indiana. I mean, because some of these models I know their criteria is what, 5, 6 inches?
Yeah, Springfield NWS, you get across the border from Arkansas to Missouri, it goes from 4 to 5. And then as you get towards central Missouri, I believe it gets up to 5. It goes from 5 to 6, and then it's basically as you go up to Iowa, it's 6.
Yeah, they're not done with the northern extent of those watches and warnings and advisories for sure.
No, I mean, like I said, even if this blows up nothing but pink and an ice storm, you're gonna get on the periphery of all this winter weather advisories, which like this purple shade that's on the screen.
All the way up to the Great Lakes. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah. So,
and I think the models are underdoing the cold air too as we head into Sunday night, Monday night, and Tuesday night. We've seen it time and time again. We get this much snowpack and ice pack down. Some of the models may say the low is 8 when the actual temperature may be 8 below 0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And especially if you get light winds, no winds, and clear sky, and you have a foot to 2 feet of snow on the ground.
Oh man.
Any heat, I mean, it's not going to be heat, but it's anything's just going to escape, and it's just going to be brutally cold.
Jamie, let's I'm sorry to interrupt you again. Before we get off here, let's go take a look at the 0Z GFS and take it out and look at that middle and latter part of next week to see if it shows anything.
Yeah.
If you have time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We have plenty of time. We can stay on as long as we want if we want to. Snow there. I'm just going to go over this really quick. The winter storm warning for Oklahoma City and all that stuff. This was issued at 10 o'clock. So they've extended. This is over in Oklahoma. They're extending the warning all the way to noon Sunday.
Can you believe that?
So just unbelievable how much 6 a.m. Friday all the way through Sunday. That's over 48 hours.
They say 6 inches or more, but trust me, as we get closer, that'll go way up.
Yeah, they're a little hesitant on more because of the ice and maybe some sleet on the southeastern part of it.
Yeah,
because they had not broke down by northern areas, southern areas, just kind of broad brushed it.
That's smart.
But they say too, winds could gust as high as 35 miles per hour on Friday.
That's something we hadn't really looked at a lot, Jamie. The winds, but we have noticed that 20 to 35 miles an hour. There's going to be some blowing and drifting snow for sure.
Definitely.
And another thing we hadn't talked about: if we get an inch or so of ice down across North Louisiana and parts of southern Arkansas, northeastern Texas, and we get 20-mile-an-hour winds, I mean, you're talking a bit even. I mean, this could go from hundreds of thousands to, a million people without electricity. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying it, it could.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree with it. I'm trying to load this. So I'm trying to load the wind here so we can kind of look at that. Let's see. Somebody said Josh Roberts. I don't know if you answer that question. Fulton County, right next to us. Looking at late Saturday night impact or earlier. You're looking at late Friday night.
Yeah,
like all of Saturday and into most of Sunday now, possibly.
Yeah.
As impacts, and this is going to the impacts are not just going to be here and done when the snow stops. This is going to the impacts are going to linger all the way into possibly mid next week, especially if you get
mid to late next week for sure. Yeah,
you get all these foot amounts. Road crews are going to have a difficult time trying to first of all keep up
and see my daughter. She works here in Mountain Home and she lives in Flippin, and I think she works evening shift like Friday, like 5 to 10 or something like that. And I don't know. I'm gonna have to play it by ear, but if it's that bad, I may have to take her home or whatever, because 5 to 10, we may already have several inches of snow by then, Yeah.
And so here's a midnight Saturday morning, and we've got 20 to 25 mile per hour gusts, even upwards of 30 down here in central Arkansas, and all the way down towards the Gulf Coast. So
27 mile per hour gusts in Monroe. Look at that. What if you get 27 mile per hour gusts with an inch of ice in the power lines and trees?
Funny you bring that up. I actually was trying to find a graphic on that. There's actually a ice storm graphic, but ice storm. It's called Ice Damage Index, and I've shown this a couple different times, so hopefully I can find it. Open image. No, that's not what I want. Anyways, you can answer some questions while I'm looking for it because it'll.
Marcia Ruth Dodge. I'm not sure if I'm saying your last name correctly. Marcia, what about Compton, Arkansas? That's a little bit in the higher elevations, right south of Harrison. You're in that hot zone where you could probably see right now we got 10 to 16 inches plus, but I would not be surprised for you to see 18 to 24 inches in that Compton area. Let's see. Jason Hobbs, Flippin. I've been to the Ranger campus a few times working on projects. That's cool, Jason. Appreciate you joining in tonight, man. Angela Shelton Estelle, how you doing? Long-time follower out there. Let's see. Interested in y'all's thoughts for Jackson, Mississippi. Feel like we are in a maybe place. Y'all are. Y'all in a maybe zone. That's what we was talking about. I don't know if you was on here earlier. You can go once we get off here. If y'all want to go back and watch some of it, y'all can. It'll automatically upload to Facebook. But Angela, right now it looks like Jackson is in that zone where you could see maybe a 10th of inch of ice, or maybe, right on that zone where if the cold air comes in a little bit deeper, and another 50 miles south, you could be going from a glaze of ice to an all-out ice storm of half inch to maybe even 1 inch of ice or more. But we're not calling for that right now. Right now, we're just calling for basically light ice up to maybe what, a tenth of an inch or something like that around Jackson.
Yeah, anywhere from a glaze to upwards of, well, we got up to a quarter right now. But like I said, that could change drastically. And the GFS confirmed that.
Yeah, it did,
the
big
latest
time.
one. And
Yeah.
I'm sure the CMCs already ran too. We can look at that here in a little bit too if you want. But let me pull this up on the screen. Okay. This is probably kind of blurry, but this is the Sperry-Pilz Ice Accumulation Index. This includes wind as well, and it shows the damage and impact descriptions. Like I said, this is a very old slide, so this may be a little bit different. So
yeah, it's blurry. I'm looking at it, and I don't think they can read it, Jamie.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, I'll just go over it really quick, but if you get into a level 3 here with just a quarter to half an inch of ice at 25-mile-per-hour winds, you're going to have numerous utility interruptions with outages lasting upwards of 1 to 5 days. And then if you go to a 4 here at a half an inch to a quarter or 3/4 of an inch at 25-mile-per-hour winds, talking prolonged and widespread utility interruptions, outages lasting upwards of 5 to 10 days. And then same here down here, if you get to level 5, you get to 3/4 of an inch to an inch, with some models of throwing that up there with greater than 25-mile-per-hour winds. You have catastrophic damage, and outages could last a few weeks if that happens. So,
and that's what I'm worried about, that number 5 right there, because let's see with the CMC, if you don't mind, let's check the CMC ice, because the CMC ice has been very, very accurate over the, I'd say at least past 10 years.
Yeah, I'll pull that up, and you can ask some questions. I got the snowfall back up there. I don't know if you want the ice one or whatever.
Jamie Glasscock, Calhoun, Louisiana is going to be bad. Yeah, I think Calhoun is going to be super bad. Trisha Moore, hello from Southeast Missouri near Cape Girardeau. Appreciate you guys. We appreciate you, Trisha. Southeast Missouri near Cape Girardeau. You're pretty much looking at an all snow event, and you're probably looking at 10 to 16 plus inches. I appreciate you being a supporter too, Trisha, and appreciate you, Jerry Manhart. Doing pretty good, buddy. How you doing? What about Southeast Virginia? Models are very conflicting. Yeah, that's another area that, it's a hard area to predict. Julia, get generators ready. Henry Lee Martin says, yeah, absolutely. If you got one or can afford one, yeah, you might want to have one on hand, on standby, but make sure, the precautions of it. Don't run it indoors, or make sure it's ventilated and all that stuff. But a generator can definitely help you. But I'm sure there'll be some warming centers like the Monroe Civic Center and Shreveport. You probably got some of those big Coliseum things. They'll open for warming shelters and stuff like that. But hopefully y'all get a lot of sleet. It won't get that inch to, inch and a half or so of ice, But we'll take a look at the CMC in just a second and see what it shows, the ice. And if the CMC and the Euro just constantly beating the ice like that, now the GFS is showing it too. The GFS has been kind of not really on board with the ice. So the 0-0 tonight really kind of picked up intensity on that icing, and I don't like that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the load. I'll be honest with you. Canadian is looking exactly like the GFS.
Yeah, they're pretty much locked all now. It's just small waffles, fluctuations.
All right. So here's the
latest. Here's the latest 0Z CMC model.
Yep, Canadian model. So this has more sleet and just a slight ribbon of freezing rain at midnight, and you go towards 6 a.m. Basically same areas like the GFS, kind of with very heavy freezing rain, and then sleet through central Arkansas. Yep.
Yeah.
And very heavy snow. This is the first wave, and then it just continues, and then maybe a little lull, especially up here.
Yeah, the
parts of
GFS is kind of
Arkansas.
showing the same thing. It's got that little
Yep.
law, and then the second
And
wave coming in.
that's because of that first wave pulling out and that high pressure is moving away, and then here comes the next front pushing
Yeah,
down in the system.
and it's going to allow that second wave, I think, to move a little further north to affect like parts of the Ohio Valley better.
Yeah, and yeah,
Look at that heavy ice down there across northern Louisiana and right north of Jackson, right there.
Yep. And this is bringing this all the way down to central Louisiana too, with some, and even down towards all the way down to almost the Gulf
Corpus
Coast of
Christi
Texas too.
almost.
Yep.
That's unbelievable.
Yep. So this is midnight on Sunday. There's 3 a.m. There's 6 a.m.
Look at the ice all the way down to getting close to Baton Rouge.
Yep. Really close. Actually, it's probably
Lake
right
Charles.
on it. Yep.
Lafayette. I don't know if I buy that yet, but man, the CMC usually does pretty good with the ice.
Yep. And this is lasting almost into
look at that. You got snow
Sunday.
flurries even coming out on Sunday. Look at that.
Yep. Trying to. There we go. Yeah.
Will it take it out? Well, yeah, you could look at the accumulations before. I was going to say we can, after we look at the accumulations of ice and snow in here, if you want to, we can look at the longer range on the GFS too to see if it has anything for middle and latter part of next week too.
Yep. So we'll get to the southeast here in a second. I'm just going to try to zoom in on the south central, so you guys, a lot of people probably watch on their phones, but here is the freezing rain. This is
man, I don't want to pull the trigger yet, but I'm starting to be more and more concerned with that southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, especially from Longview to Shreveport to Monroe, Louisiana, Greenville, Mississippi, Tupelo, Mississippi, right up there near the northeastern part of Mississippi, northwestern part of Alabama. That area right there could be the bad zone of the most ice.
I agree. And you even got, if you get down towards southern Louisiana now, it's got over a quarter inch to a half an inch.
Can you believe that? That is unbelievable.
Slightly inland from the Gulf. And same here in Texas. And I kind of want to look at Houston.
Look at the bottom right down there, Jamie. 3.6 inches, which I know that's not going to happen most likely because you're probably going to have, what do you say, at least half of that falling off.
If you just take half that, if you just take half that, it's still catastrophic. I mean,
yeah.
But where am I at?
You're looking for the southeast, ain't you?
Well, I was looking at Houston. Here's Houston Metro, and they've got over a quarter inch ice now. So that
we were just talking about that earlier too, about this the cold, going more south down into Texas, like a lot of the models wasn't showing, and actually starting to pick up on it a little more now.
Oops, southeast. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to load. There we go. So this is doesn't have as much cold getting into Atlanta, but just on the northeast suburbs.
Toward Gainesville,
and a little bit higher terrain up here in northeastern parts
Greenville, Spartanburg area.
Yep. And
that zone right there, though, I think that's the highest chance to get hammered with a damaging and extreme catastrophic, possibly ice storm right in that corridor, like the CMC showing.
And just southwest of, or south and southwest of Nashville, all the way through even northwestern parts of Alabama, getting into that 1 and 2 inch amounts. Like I said, this will probably be maybe half that, but still, this is going to be dangerous. Even northern Alabama or northern Louisiana,
it's got 2 or 3 inches for even northwest Louisiana.
Yeah, just very.
So
dangerous.
Even an inch and a half of ice would be catastrophic.
Yep.
According to their definition of the ice totals, that anything over basically an inch is catastrophic.
Yeah. Sleet totals, max is 11.
Yeah. That is unbelievable. We seen 12 the other day, but 11.7. That's almost a foot of sleet.
Yep. And go to southeast for that too. And a lot of sleet in the Carolinas and Virginia.
Up there to Raleigh and Asheville, North Carolina.
Got 4 to 5 inches just right around Memphis. And I know I put on here, here's, like I said, this is snow and sleet accumulations we've seen on our screen. So even right around Memphis, I know at first glance, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get 6 to 10 inches or so of snow. Well, most of that could be sleet. So, which would be good. You don't want this freezing rain. Nobody does. But we need to get into snowfall.
The CMC don't do really well with the ratio parts, I don't think.
No, it doesn't. I mean, it's still showing. I mean, some 6 to 12 inches, but you need to probably point or 1.5 times to 2 times this amount in some of these areas.
Well, Jamie, if you don't mind, would you go back to the surface of the CMC model here?
Yeah.
All right. Go back to the surface and then walk it out all the way into the middle and latter part of next week to see if it shows anything out there.
Okay, here's Monday, Tuesday. Of course, it's slow loading. There we go. My goodness. Uh-oh.
Look at that. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Look at that.
504
thickness in northern Louisiana. That is crazy.
You got snow into the Gulf.
On the oil platforms of southern Louisiana. That's what I'm saying. We may not be done after that. Look at that.
Yeah, I need to let me
go to the southeast.
Yeah.
And this is for middle and latter part of next week.
Yeah, here's Wednesday. So, I mean, it's just slow loading. So,
well, I say southeast. You could have went to south central. Is what I meant to say, Jamie. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, that's what I was on.
Look at that.
All right. Yep. There's a little system coming through Wednesday.
Hey, a lot of the ensembles has been showing that too.
Yep.
Look at that. Another major shot of Arctic air coming in. Then you got widespread ice and sleet and snow breaking out in Texas and Oklahoma. Man.
The difference between the last few months and now, like I said, we've transitioned out of La Nina, and we're out of the circle of death. We're actually not even getting into 8 yet, which 8 and 1 and the MJO is the coldest phases, and right now we're 6-7. Usually is the warmer phases, but 2021 was an example of how cold it could get in 6 and 7 parts. I say 6-7. That's just a trend right now, but
look at that. That is actually some moderate to heavy snowfall. What is this? Thursday night?
Yeah, this is Thursday into Friday on January 30th. And
see, look at that. You got sleet all the way down to Lake Charles, heavy snow for Alexandria, Monroe, Shreveport, Jackson, Mississippi, sleet all the way down to Mobile, Alabama.
You got freezing.
You got ice storm for the panhandle of Florida. This is crazy. And this is absolutely on the table with this weather pattern.
Yep, and I agree. It's just 504 thickness. Man.
Can you believe that? Let's see what the temperature is right there at that frame with the 504 thickness right over southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana. I guarantee it's going to be in the teens.
Look at this low popping off the coast here and creating kind of like a nor'easter too.
Can you believe that?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I need to see.
Robin says 867-5309.
So this is
that the actual temperatures?
At 12 o'clock on Saturday, January 31st.
Man, can you believe that? That's 12 o'clock in the day?
Yes. 12 p.m.
Oh my God.
New Orleans, 22 at noon. If this happens, of course.
Yes. 6 degrees in Memphis. Unbelievable, man.
It doesn't move. I mean, you get to 6 p.m. it just gets colder.
I was telling you about this earlier. Once we get all the sleet and ice and snowpack down,
stuff ain't going anywhere.
No, some of these places may stay below freezing for 2 weeks, 10 days or longer.
And that's why we talk about model busting cold air. Hey, we appreciate you guys 400 plus sticking with us. We've been almost on live for 2 hours. It's like,
yeah, we really do appreciate
you guys. I know we're just ranting and raving through models here, but we're trying to look at signs to come as well. Man, these temperatures. That's
actual surface temperatures you got pulled up too. Ain't it?
Yeah, this is Monday. What's today? Yeah, this is Monday, the 26th at Oh, it's midnight. This ain't cold enough. This is not cold enough.
No.
This is showing. I mean, negative numbers over towards Memphis. Yeah,
But
but
can you believe that it's showing the actual the cold wave coming later next week, stronger than this wave?
yeah.
I mean, look at this as it comes in as we head into
I
Thursday and Friday.
I do not buy these temperatures on the Canadian. This is the one time I disagree because you're saying on 3 p.m. on Monday after all that snow and ice on stuff you're going to get into the mid 20s, upper 20s.
No,
There's no way.
Mm-mm.
I'm not trying to let it load. Yeah,
Look at
there's
that.
6 o'clock on Tuesday morning. There's no
Look.
way. It's saying it's going to be a 20 up here in Branson. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't agree with this much.
Well, can you go back and look at the 24-hour snowfall, and that way we can separate the big system this weekend with that possible system mid and late next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the 24-hour snow totals and
Let's go back to
South Central.
All right.
And from what I'm just looking at the surface mount, it's probably going to have some 3 to 6 inch amounts with that system, the potential system late next week.
Yep.
I bet it does. We'll see, though, here in just a second.
Yeah, it's just super slow. Even as you get towards Wednesday, you got some flurries and maybe some dusting over here towards Mississippi, Kansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Arkansas.
Hey, Jamie has been. We started several months ago. Jamie was like, "I want an ice age." Well, there you go.
I don't know if I mean, I just had a feeling. I mean,
you was talking about 1985 cold like 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
Telling me about it and this and that and other. And man, I don't know really.
This is level cold because it was fitting. It was fitting the pattern. We talked about this in the Sporter. I talked about this in the Sporter Hub. I mean, all the time. I mean, if you guys want to join the Sporter Hub too, it's $4.99 a month, $4.99, not $400, but $4.99 a month. You get all kinds of different insights. I break down the patterns, MJO, the upper pattern, the polar vortex. I mean, I try to teach you guys something as well. So
yeah, and they get to see a lot of the ice and snow accumulation maps that we do not put on the public page.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
okay, there it comes.
Here comes this
2 to 3, 3 to 4 inches. I bet it's going to have some 3 to 5 inch amounts, basically. Yeah, there you go. 3 to 6 inch amounts across the
Florida
southeast.
That's gotten hit last year and this year already could get hit again late next week.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
The coastal Carolinas, even Savannah, or not Savannah, but is it Augusta? Savannah, one of the two.
Hey, why don't you do this? Bring your scroller all the way back to the left. And then go to South Central. And then go to the 0ZGFS. And then go to surface, where it shows surface. And then let's see what it has for late next week. See if it's got anything. Looks like something's trying to develop.
Trying to fish something out, but it's I can already tell it's warming up too quick.
There it is. It's got something too.
It's showing. Yeah, it's that system coming out here. Yeah.
Look at that. Now we got agreement between the GFS and CMC model.
And even towards the south. Look at this.
A Gulf low.
Snow back in that.
Can you believe that? Pensacola, Florida again?
Gulf Shores again.
Mobile. Unbelievable.
Pensacola.
3
snows in 2 years, possibly.
We just need to get the Euro on board.
Speaking of that, it's 11 o'clock whenever it's starting to run.
I doubt it. It's on
Yep, and
11:08.
it's popping that coastal low too, a little bit further east, but still.
Yeah.
But it's on board with it. But it's got the lobe of the cold east, not coming straight down to Texas and Louisiana. Say the 510 thickness here. But,
still cold though.
yeah.
The gray is snow. The gray and the blue, that's snow, light to moderate snow, and the darker bluish purple is heavy snow. Yeah, appreciate it, Jerry Manhart. We sure appreciate it. We give it all. I know we may get it wrong sometimes. We did really good this year. When for a month out, we was calling for a very strong cold start to winter from Thanksgiving to Christmas. Well, we got the first part of it right, but we didn't see that Christmas warm period up to about 7 days. And I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it was Christmas time, and me and Jamie tried to keep hope alive for y'all out there for a colder Christmas time. And we finally, about a week out, we said, okay, it's gonna be warm. Let's go ahead and give it to them straight. It's gonna be warm, but man, we tried to keep hope alive for the Christmas time frame to maybe have a little cold air coming in. But boy, it was warm, 70s and 80s for a lot of the central and southern southeast United States. But actually, we did pretty good up into that part there, and so we'll see how we do from here on out. But we try hard. Jamie, he really works hard around the clock, and so do I, to try to keep you informed on the very latest. Not only do we love predicting the weather for y'all and trying to get the forecast right, and trying to be engagement with y'all and have y'all prepared and everything. We love the weather too. We live and breathe these weather models and ensemble members, and looking at all the data and reading the National Weather Service discussions and stuff like that. It's really exciting, isn't it, Jamie?
Oh yeah, I mean, we kind of live and breathe the winter, but last year there was so much severe weather and flooding, and it seems like we were just constantly busy last year. Hurricane season, we got lucky last year. There was no landfall hurricanes for the first time in a long time, thank goodness.
I know.
But, if you want to answer Garrett's question, pull that up on the screen. I'm sure you can see it.
Yeah, I said, hey, SnowBirdBob, I've been at work and missed out. What is the latest for Central Mississippi, Flowood, Brandon for the weekend? Garrett, yeah, we've talked about that a couple times. Brandon, I believe Mississippi is right to the north of Jackson, Mississippi. Right now, we have you in that around a quarter to a half inch. But you're in that zone, though. If a little bit further south with the cold air, you could be in that extreme ice damage, a half inch to 1 inch plus, with maybe an inch or two of sleet or at the tail end there, and maybe a few light snow flurries or something. But that area right there is pretty isn't that pretty tough area that it could kind of go either way.
Oh yeah, easy. And the latest models is leaning towards
colder,
more precip, not more precip, but more ice for Jackson, even to Houston. Houston, I know we have them as a glaze to a quarter, and Houston's some of the models are going over a quarter inch now. Which
Jamie, I wouldn't be surprised to see purple ice storm warnings all the way from the Red River all the way down just north of Houston, across southern Arkansas, northern Louisiana, all the way up to just south of Memphis, up to maybe around Jackson or just north of Jackson, and then extending all the way over into parts of northern Georgia and the Carolinas. Big area of ice storm warning, because I believe they issue an ice storm warning at a quarter inch or higher, right?
Yes, quarter inch or higher. Of course, I think it goes. I think that the criteria goes down as you head towards the Gulf Coast.
It may go to like a tenth of an inch as an ice storm warning. Yeah, we could say a large pink with winter storm warnings, large winter weather advisories to the north of that, way on up in the Great Lakes and stuff like that. And then we could see south of the pink winter storm warnings, we could see a bunch of purple all the way from Texas, Louisiana, parts of Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, North Carolina, South Carolina, and maybe even parts of southern Kentucky and southern Virginia.
Yep. Here, I've got that pulled up. So
I appreciate you
here's
too, Garrett.
here's the criteria for either winter storm warning or ice storm warning. So most of the United States is a quarter inch or higher. Up here towards New England, it's like a half an inch, which is kind of crazy. But down here towards Texas, Central Texas, down towards Houston, it only takes 0.12 or higher to get that ice storm warning.
I guarantee you, parts of that light blue area will be in ice storm warning, be purple.
Yeah. Now the key is it has to in order to get under an the ice storm warning criteria, it has to be straight freezing rain the whole event. If there's a chance of some sleet either mixing in or a transition to sleet, you'll be under winter storm warning.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Now you get towards southern Texas, it only takes 0.01 hundredth of
a trace, basically.
Yeah, to go
That's
under
crazy.
either winter storm warning or a, which is nuts. But I know I mentioned this earlier, so I think you can see it. Yeah. So this is the probabilistic precipitation portal. This is off of NOAA, and then it goes with the National Weather Service. This is basically what all the National Weather Services combined, what they're forecasting. This only goes through 00Z on Sunday, the next 72 hours. But I wanted to show you all this because it's kind of interesting. So every time you go, there's like these little dots. So you can actually go into this. So there's one just north of Mountain Home, which is Gainesville. This shows, their expected totals as of right now. This is going to go up. I know it's going to go up.
Oh, but there's no doubt about it.
They're expecting, the National Weather Service saying right now, 6 inches of snow. Right now they're forecasting. High end is 13. But here's the probabilities. So if you get to 12 inches, here's 50%. What I was talking to Bob earlier about is, yes, there is a chance. There's a 3% chance of at least 18 inches, which, I mean, around this area, I've never seen anything, even a percentage chance of even 18 inches around here. So Harrison, same way, 3%, 14% above 12 inches. They're expecting 6 inches, according to National Weather Service. High end is a foot.
That's going to go up, though.
Fayetteville, same way. 13 high end, that's going to go up as well. But yeah, it's just kind of funny on that. Now back here towards Oklahoma, of course, most of the event's going to be ongoing already, and like I said, this only goes through 00Z on Sunday, and they're expecting, like Woodward, Oklahoma, the National Weather Service is expecting 8 inches. High end is 10. Oklahoma City, 6 to 10 as well. So this shows ice amounts too. There is high end amounts, which this is just what I showed you basically. So Branson, over a foot, because their high end is 14 now. So 4% likelihood of over 18, or at least 18 inches. This is nuts. Now, here's their ice forecast as of right now. This is the high end amount. So let's go to expected amounts. This is only through right around 9 o'clock or so Saturday evening. And
I agree with that area right there too.
And they've pushed it up into the Little Rock area now too. National Weather Service, they're expecting, this is the National Weather Service forecast. So right now, 0.3. So that's over a quarter inch. When you start having problems, they're thinking high end, maybe over a half an inch now in Little Rock. Memphis, they're expecting 1/10 of an inch. That's going to create all kinds of, it doesn't take much for anything to get slicked up. I mean, just a glaze. And then look at the difference, though. They're expecting 0.1, but then the high end is over 3/4 of an inch of ice in Memphis. So that's something you need to be wary about. But there is, I know it's a slight chance here, but there's a 2% likelihood of at least an inch of ice.
Hey, click on Monroe.
Yeah, I'm going to go in there. So Monroe. All right, so they're expecting, I mean, their forecast right now is 0.3, 0.3 of an inch, but the high end is 3/4 of an inch, and at least an inch is 2% likelihood. That's underdone to me.
Yeah.
Way underdone, but we'll see.
And see, Vicksburg and Jackson, I think they could get into that red area too.
See, Right now, the National Weather Service is not expecting anything in Jackson,
No,
except the high end amounts are almost a quarter inch, which I agree with that. The high ends right now.
but we know how Arctic air is. If that was to
Yeah.
bleed another 50 miles to the southeast, that changes the entire, forecast.
Yep. And Dallas, Dallas right now they're expecting 0.3, and the high end is over half an inch, which will create a ton of issues with power. Once you start getting over half an inch, you're going to start having issues. A half an inch of ice puts an extra, I believe, either 600 or 700 pounds on one length of power line from pole to pole. An extra 700 pounds or so on one
Yeah,
line.
Duck Dynasty's definitely going to be in ice down there in West Monroe, Henry. Hey, Jamie, I think we're going to try to wrap it up.
Yep. Yep. Let's go over this really quick again one more time. Here's, in case y'all are just joining us or if you missed this, but here's our snowfall forecast as of right now. It's our first look. We'll probably have one more update. We don't change it every 3 hours, but 10 to 16 plus inches. We're thinking right now from parts of Oklahoma through northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, all the way through Kentucky and into the parts of Virginia and up here towards Pennsylvania. Other side of that, like I said, this is including sleet as well as you get south towards Little Rock, Memphis, stuff like that. A lot of this could be sleet and some snow, so 6 to 10 inches possible, and then it tapers down from there as you get towards northern Louisiana, just south of Dallas, maybe a dusting to an inch at the most of sleet and snow. Now, I may need to up this because the sleet accumulations are probably going to go up in northern Louisiana and south of Dallas into parts of Mississippi as well with regarding that. Now, ice accumulations, I think we're just extreme issues from basically Dallas to northern Louisiana, southern Arkansas, and up towards central Mississippi or parts of north central Mississippi and just south of Nashville. And then, of course, that trouble area over here in the Carolinas.
I'm just going to add one more thing, and I'll let you end it here. Jamie, give you the last say. I do think, if anything, can you go back to the snowfall map real quick?
Yeah.
Okay, where we got this 10 to 16 plus inches at from northeast Oklahoma, southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, over into the Ohio Valley. I think, if anything, like Jamie said, we may be underdoing that 10 to 16. We'll just have to wait and see, because Jamie, we'll probably update it one last time when, like, Friday morning.
Well, I probably will update it tomorrow night when we do.
Tomorrow
We'll probably do
night.
another live tomorrow night. I'll be live. I know I'll be live again probably in the morning sometime just to give a brief update. But we'll try it. We'll be live eventually tomorrow night. We'll probably just have a final update tomorrow night because we have winter storm warnings that are starting to be thrown out and starting at noon on Friday. So I think we might just go ahead and do the final one tomorrow night and
all right.
be done with it.
Well, I appreciate it. Really appreciate y'all joining in, everybody. Appreciate all the supporters, all the followers we have from all across the country. I'm sorry if we didn't get to your questions tonight. We will try to get to. We try to answer most of the comments, and then we try to get to most of the comments during the live. But it's just no way we can get to hundreds and hundreds of comments out there. But we appreciate y'all depending on us. We appreciate y'all following us over the years, becoming a supporter. And y'all have a good night, everybody. And I'll give it over to James for his last words.
There's some comments that's coming in about being live tomorrow. We will be live. I will be live in the morning, probably mid-morning or so. And then we will be live again tomorrow evening for sure to go. We'll basically break down everything again. And then we'll take questions and basically we'll stay on and just go through data with you all as well. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate all our supporters and followers. Just remember, this is going to be a very dangerous situation with the ice, even snowfall, with some areas getting over a foot, possibly even 2 feet of snow. And it's going to be a prolonged event. Some areas could have 48 to 60 hours of precipitation. And then some of the models are showing even a possible winter weather getting into the deep south as we get towards late next week, even with all this ice and snow possibly still on the ground, even towards late next week. So thank you all so much for watching. Like I said, we'll be live in the morning and in tomorrow afternoon or tomorrow night. That is, and please stay up on the page. We usually post every hour or so, or every hour and a half, as well. We want to thank our YouTube people, our YouTube followers and subscribers over there, as well. If you haven't hit that subscribe button over there, it's basically like following a page on Facebook. If you hit that subscribe button, that'd be great, and follow us over on Facebook, as well. So thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with us for the last 2 hours. We will talk to you soon. Oh, these maps that you see on your screen here, we're going to be posting those momentarily on our Facebook page, so you guys can view those at your leisure. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Stay weather aware, and please, you have the next 48 hours or so to get prepared for this major icing and this snowfall. And then basically this weekend, everybody just needs to hunker down. And the road conditions are just going to be absolutely garbage. You don't want to get out in this cold. Some of these cold air that's going to be in the single digits of teens with wind chills below zero. You don't want to get stuck out in traffic. I know some people have to go to work and stuff, but I'm just trying to be mindful of that. But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good rest of your evening.